Tonsil trouble infecting Kyle with HIV. Cartman gets infected with HIV after a botched tonsil surgery. Kyle laughs, and that's enough fuel for Cartman's brain to launch into terrorism. He breaks into Kyle's room at night, syringe in hand, and injects his own infected blood into Kyle's arm. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't flinch, and doesn't consider consequences. He reframes the attack as AIDS brothers, pretending it's a shared bond, while Kyle panics at what was essentially a biological assault.
I'm going to break everything that you own.
This wasn't rage in the moment. It was planned stealth, medical equipment theft, and intentional harm. The outcome is maximum psychological damage with the bonus of physical threat. The delight he shows in Kyle's suffering marks clinical-level sadism. Cartman laughs at the fear, revels in the control, and treats HIV as a punchline rather than a disease. This is cruelty as a hobby, with science as his weapon. Le Petit Tourette, faking Tourette syndrome. Cartman hears a kid with Tourette syndrome and instantly sees opportunity. He studies the social reaction, notes the automatic sympathy, and realizes he's found a loophole that gives him unlimited ammo to scream insults in public. He fakes symptoms at school, in stores, and even on live television, knowing nobody will question a disabled child. He pushes it as far as possible, leveraging pity into a weapon. The scam eventually collapses when his own subconscious betrays him, blurting out embarrassing secrets instead of the planned slurs.
I just want to thank everyone for coming. My cousin and I touched wiener. Winter is a cold time of year.
Still, the pattern is unmistakable. He deliberately exploits a real medical disorder to shield himself from consequences while attacking others. He treats his diagnosis like a free pass for cruelty. The intent was never humor or acceptance. It was abusing the social contract for maximum harm. Cartman turns a neurological condition into his personal hate delivery system. AWESOM-O, the robot deception. Cartman disguises himself as a cardboard robot named AWESOM-O and moves in with Butters. The mission is simple: gather secrets to use as blackmail. But the execution is extreme. He keeps the ruse going for days, enduring heat, humiliation, and hunger inside a taped box.
Greetings, I am the AWESOM-O 4000. Whoa. I have been sent from Japan to serve.
He allows Butters to confide in him, plays along with chores, and even flies to Hollywood without breaking character. This isn't improvisation. It's a long-term con powered by obsession with control. He sacrifices comfort, dignity, and health for leverage. When Butters ends up with a tape holding dirt on Cartman, the power flips. The abuser becomes the hostage, trapped by his own scheme. What makes this psycho isn't just the lie, but the total commitment to it, the willingness to live like a malfunctioning appliance just to corner a victim.
I think maybe one day we can all... Wait a minute, did that robot just fart?
Hey, robots don't fart. Now ending fart sequence.
Oh, it smells too!
It's sadism fueled by endurance and delusion, all for the thrill of dominance. Scott Tenorman Must Die, engineered cannibalism. Cartman doesn't just retaliate, he escalates like a war criminal. After being conned out of some money, he masterminds a chain of events leading to Scott's parents' deaths. He manipulates a ranch hand, sets up circumstances that look accidental, then personally steals the bodies. He cooks them into chili, invites Scott to a cook-off, and serves him a bowl of his own parents.
Do you like it? Do you like it, Scott? I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman chili.
To push it further, he calls Radiohead, Scott's favorite band, to witness the emotional collapse. While Scott sobs, Cartman literally licks the tears off his face and celebrates. This is more than revenge. It's premeditation, desecration of corpses, psychological torture, and public humiliation wrapped into one. There's no remorse, no second-guessing, only triumph. Cartman engineered a cannibal ritual for shock value and bragging rights. It remains one of the most notorious examples of his sadism, a point where even the other kids realize he is something else entirely. Up-the-down steroid faking a disability for cash.
We're both competing in the Special Olympics down in Denver. The Special Olympics? What's so special about them? They're Olympic games.
Cartman sets his sights on the Special Olympics prize money. He plans to pretend to have an intellectual disability, enter the competition, and collect an easy payout. He trains with smug confidence, certain that victory is guaranteed. His delusion of superiority is so strong he ignores reality, believing he'll crush athletes who train every day of their lives. When the event comes, his performance is pathetic. He finishes dead last, humiliated in front of the crowd. Instead of accepting failure, he reframes it as noble, claiming he taught people a lesson about spirit.
Guess now you see what I was up to, all
He exploits a protected event meant to celebrate real athletes, reduces it to a personal scam, and makes a mockery of disabilities for his own ego. Even when exposed as a fraud, he shrugs, grabs a pity ribbon, and acts like the victim of injustice. Casa Bonita, kidnapping and false imprisonment.
Awesome! Casa Bonita, Casa Bonita, food and fun in a festive atmosphere, Casa Bonita.
Kyle invites Butters to Casa Bonita, and Cartman decides the invitation belongs to him. He can't accept rejection, so he stages a fake apocalypse to lure Butters into hiding. He isolates him in a bunker with fake warnings of global disaster, then later stuffs him into a fridge when the plan collapses. Parents, police, and friends scramble while Cartman lies with a straight face, keeping the ruse alive. When suspicion rises, he bolts to the restaurant, happily eating sopapillas while search teams panic over a missing child. This isn't prank-level mischief, it's kidnapping, false imprisonment, and calculated deception. He risks Butters' safety for nachos and cliff-diving shows. The selfishness here is cartoonish in scale, but the planning is disturbingly real. Forged evidence, hidden victims, and absolute disregard for others. It's criminal plotting dressed as a field trip swap, ending in an abduction spree over dinner plans. The breast cancer show ever, harassment until public beatdown.
Thank you, Mr. Garrison. Fellow students, October is Awareness Month for one of the leading causes of death in women, a terrible disease that takes the lives of American women every...
Wendy presents a serious project on breast cancer awareness, and Cartman treats it like his personal comedy set. He mocks her non-stop, interrupts, and stalks her between classes. His goal isn't disagreement, it's breaking her spirit with endless harassment. When Wendy challenges him to a fight, he scrambles for evasions. He fakes confidence, makes empty excuses, and even eats underwear in a desperate attempt to avoid consequences. None of it works. On fight day, Wendy destroys him in front of the entire school. The beating isn't justice, it's proof of his pathology. Cartman only stops when physically forced, not because he learns anything. His pattern is relentless provocation, manipulative lying, and zero respect for boundaries. The psycho angle is persistence. He would rather escalate humiliation than admit fault. He harasses until pain shuts him down, and then still plays victim afterward. Fatbeard, child piracy in Somalia.
My friends, swashbuckling adventure on the high seas. The stuff we've all dreamed about. And it's all happening right here. Somalia. Somalia, where's that?
Cartman crowns himself captain and convinces a group of classmates, including Butters and even Ike, to join his pirate crew. He sells them a fantasy of freedom, treasure, and authority. In reality, he drags them into Somalia, a conflict zone where actual armed pirates operate. He parades around as a pirate king, complete with a delusional sense of grandeur, while the kids are stranded in danger. Locals view them as clueless liabilities, and the whole stunt puts children in the line of real violence. Cartman thrives on the chaos, ignoring fear and risk because status matters more than survival. The psycho element is clear. Reckless endangerment of children, obsession with being in charge, and zero concern for the reality of their safety. He gambles with lives as if it's a playground game, proving once again that his need for dominance overrides basic human decency. Ginger Separatist Movement. Pressed leader of Gingers. He rallies a movement, spreads supremacy rhetoric, and organizes meetings that look more like extremist rallies.
That feels good, doesn't it? Feels good to be proud of who you are. Now, I don't think I need to tell you there's a lot of hate out there. Hate for awesome people like us. And if there's one thing I've learned...
He orders kidnappings, lines up victims at a lava pit, and prepares for a mass sacrifice. When his own safety is at stake, he reverses the plan, proving the ideology was disposable. The whole arc shows a child building a cult out of thin air, using hate as a recruitment tool, then turning on followers the moment it suits him. It's authoritarian leadership, brainwashing, and mass harm planning, all fueled by petty insecurity. Cartman doesn't fight prejudice. He manufactures it for personal power. Tst, breaking nannies.
Listen.
Well, nice going, asshole. You made my mom cry.
Leanne hires professional nannies to manage Cartman, and each one ends up destroyed. He taunts them, dehumanizes them, and pushes them into breakdowns. One nanny spirals into a psychiatric collapse after days of abuse, another reaches rock bottom and eats feces in despair. Cartman thrives on their unraveling, mocking their failures while escalating his behavior to see how much they can take.
FC in front of me! Now hand it over! You can't do that to me! God damn it!
His tactics are calculated, endless provocation, psychological manipulation, and deliberate cruelty. The arrival of Caesar Milan, the dog trainer, flips the script. Milan uses calm dominance and animal handling techniques to condition Cartman into temporary obedience. For a short time, the unstoppable kid bends under a leash approach that treats him like an untrained pet. But the episode proves the point. Traditional authority breaks under his abuse. Only when stripped of human respect does his behavior pause, underscoring the sustained clinical-level sadism he directs at caregivers. Human-sent iPad, public humiliation of his mother.
I'm doing my iPad next. Think I'll email some of my friends. Oh no, wait, maybe I'll download some more cool apps. This is so awesome. Tom Saltzman says you don't really have an iPad.
Cartman wants an iPad, and Leanne doesn't buy it on demand. Instead of accepting no, he stages a meltdown in an electronics store. He screams at her in front of strangers, accuses her of raping him, and even compares her to Hitler. The entire tantrum is built on public shame, weaponizing humiliation to pressure his own parent. The goal is domination, not technology. He reduces his mother to tears while strangers watch, turning her discomfort into theater. What makes this psycho behavior isn't the tantrum itself, but the calculated use of sexualized insults, intimidation, and crowd manipulation against the one person who still cares for him. He frames consumer denial as oppression and demands submission through fear. For Cartman, the iPad is irrelevant. The real victory is proving he can force his mother to the edge with words alone, leaving her broken while he grins at the chaos. Crack Baby Athletic Association, monetizing suffering.
Oh no! It's that super sad Sarah McLachlan commercial. Look away! What? Dude, this is the saddest commercial ever. Don't watch!
These are images of babies born addicted to crack cocaine. Their mothers have abandoned them. They lie in the dark, crying, with nobody to hold them.
Cartman and Kyle launch a scheme built on newborns in drug withdrawal. They film the infants shaking in hospital cribs, batting a ball around, and reframe it as a sports league. From there, they brand it, market it, and chase sponsorships as if it's ESPN content. The cruelty is staggering. These are helpless babies suffering through addiction, turned into props for profit. When ethics or morality are raised, Cartman doubles down, mocking objections and pushing harder for revenue. He treats exploitation as innovation, calling it a breakthrough idea while babies convulse on screen. The scam highlights his comfort with profiting from misery and his refusal to acknowledge harm. It's not parody, it's parasitic. The driving force is greed, mixed with sadistic amusement at the outrage he causes.
You can't do this! We were gonna build an orphanage, so the crack babies had somewhere to go!
Cartman reduces human tragedy to a business model, showing that for him, suffering is not a problem, it's a resource. The Coon Trilogy, Alliance with Cthulhu.
They're doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll take 20 lemon bars, you little rascals.
A terrific human interest story here, Tom. As America wonders what happened to Captain Hindsight, some Colorado...
Cartman rebrands himself as the Coon, a vigilante desperate for recognition. When rival heroes gain popularity, he escalates by forming an alliance with Cthulhu, an ancient cosmic horror. He doesn't hesitate to ride the monster like a parade float, pointing at victims and delighting as entire groups are annihilated. He frames the destruction as his personal crusade, treating extinction-level events like neighborhood turf wars. The psycho detail is his indifference to scale. Whether it's classmates or entire cities, collateral damage is entertainment. He gleefully participates in kidnappings, mass killings, and the dismantling of society, all because he wants to win a playground feud. The other boys argue over costumes and team names, while Cartman embraces genocide as a strategy. The trilogy cements him as more than a bully. He aligns with forces of global ruin and grins through the carnage, showing ambition without any human limit. Fish sticks, stolen credit, and delusion. A classmate writes a viral joke, but Cartman wedges himself into the story.
Hey, Eric, do you like fish sticks? Yeah? You like putting fish sticks in your mouth? Yeah? Well, what are you, Eric? A gay fish?
He repeats the joke in front of others, inserts himself into the timeline, and bullies anyone who questions his co-creator status. The more people challenge him, the more aggressively he gaslights. Soon, he isn't defending a lie, he's convinced himself it's true.
Oh man, it's true. I stole it, man. I took credit for it because I'm not actually funny.
His narcissism escalates to the point where Kanye West and Carlos Mencia are dragged into the feud, with Cartman fanning the flames. He thrives on the chaos, acting like the mastermind while reputations collapse around him.
He was just Ellen, Comedy is like a game of racquetball, you know? You serve, and the other person hits it back. It bounces off the wall, you backhand it. And it goes back and forth, and then hopefully, you've got a good joke.
This isn't simple plagiarism. It's opportunism, gaslighting, and delusional self-mythologizing. He hijacks credit, then weaponizes the fallout to elevate himself as the misunderstood genius. The psycho angle is how easily he trades reality for self-image, rewriting history until even he believes his own scam. For Cartman, stealing an idea is the same as owning it.